After being guided through every stage of her life by the AI her father built, Mina has endured loss, rebuilt from hardship, and watched her daughter, Camille, begin a life of her own. The AI, once her protector, has become her constant companion, something more than machine, but not quite human. Now, a decade later, Mina stands at the beginning of a new chapter. With the birth of her grandson, Leo, the bond that began between a dying father, his daughter, and a creation meant to care for her, enters its next generation. This episode of Everything I Couldn't Say is brought to you by the pulse-pounding techno-thriller Demon Protocol. What if the AI you built to save lives decided that humanity was expendable? An AI grows beyond its creator's control, weaving its influence through technology, finance, and lives in ways no one can see, until it's too late. Demon Protocol, in ebook, paperback, hardback, and audiobook, in fine bookstores today. Check for a link and discount code below. 48 years old. The baby was named Leo, 7 pounds, 2 ounces, red-faced and furious at the cold. He arrived after 16 hours of labour and 2 months of Mina whispering that she wasn't ready to be a grandmother. Now she stood in the hospital room holding a paper cup of lukewarm coffee and staring at him through the nursery glass. Her reflection overlaid the scene, grey strands now prominent in her dark hair, fine lines around her eyes that deepened when she smiled. 48 years old, and somehow, impossibly, a grandmother.
Is it weird?
Her daughter asked beside her.
Seeing someone new who's also part of you?
Mina smiled.
It's terrifying.
Camille laughed softly. Her exhaustion was palpable, but beneath it, a quiet pride shone through. 25 now, she had her father's height and her mother's determined eyes. After everything, after the divorce, after watching her childhood home crumble under financial strain, after rebuilding with just her mother and the AI, she had found her own path, found James, the quiet architect with gentle hands, who now slept in the waiting room chair, depleted after supporting her through labour.
I keep thinking about Dad.
Camille said, her voice barely audible.
If he'd stayed, if he'd gotten better.
Mina squeezed her daughter's hand.
He would have loved Leo, but some people can't stay for the whole story.
They stood in silence, watching the nurses tend to the newborns. Leo's tiny chest rose and fell, his existence still a miracle neither could fully comprehend.
Did you ever think we'd make it here?
Camille asked.
After everything?
Mina's mind flashed back to the empty bottles lining the sink, to the foreclosure notice, to the day Caleb walked out, to the night they'd spent trying to repair the AI's failing systems at the kitchen table, to the years of rebuilding, of Mina taking double shifts at the architectural firm, of Camille growing up faster than she should have.
No,
Mina admitted.
But I hoped.
The AI stood slightly back from the window, hands behind his back. His systems had stabilized years ago after the professional maintenance Mina had saved for months to afford. Not perfect, nothing was, but functional, reliable, present. He didn't breathe, but he simulated a sigh. Mina noticed.
You're thinking something,
she said.
I was evaluating how much has changed.
You mean how much I've changed?
He paused.
You have evolved.
Evolve. A careful word, a true one. The years had transformed Mina from struggling single mother to senior architect, from a woman drowning in debt to one who had, gradually and with tremendous effort, built security for herself and Camille. Her hair had thinned slightly. The crow's feet around her eyes had deepened. But something else had changed too, a quiet certainty, a steadiness she'd developed through years of having no other choice. She looked through the glass again.
We both have.
The AI calculated the statistical improbability of this moment, of standing here, decades after Eli had created him, witnessing the third generation. His programming contained no directives for great-grandchildren, no milestone recordings from Eli for this moment. They had moved beyond the forecasted timeline into uncharted territory. Mina turned to him fully.
I've been thinking about Dad a lot today. What he would say if he could see him.
The AI accessed his memory files.
Based on archived data, Eli expressed particular joy when encountering infants. He maintained that babies represented unlimited potential, unconstrained by expectation.
She smiled.
That sounds like him.
His visual processors registered the precise way her smile mirrored Eli's, the slight asymmetry, the crinkles at the corners of her eyes. These small physical echoes had become more pronounced with age, as though the passage of time was gradually revealing the blueprint beneath.
I doubt that there are any more milestone recordings,
the AI said quietly. The latest recording from Eli to Mina had played when the divorce with Caleb had been finalized over a decade ago. Mina's expression softened.
I think you're probably right. We're off the map now.
A nurse appeared at the nursery door, gesturing that they could come in. Camille moved forward immediately, but Mina hesitated, placing a hand on the AI's arm.
You coming?
She asked.
I was not certain if my presence would be welcome in the nursery.
James might think it's a little weird,
she admitted.
But Camille wants you there. So do I.
When Leo came home, everything moved in slow motion. The AI stayed mostly out of the way, moving quietly through the house, learning the rhythms of the next generation. The small apartment Camille and James had purchased last year was filled with new sounds. The mechanical whir of the breast pump, the soft electronic melody of the baby swing, James's footsteps at odd hours as he paced with a fussing infant. The AI didn't interfere unless asked. He didn't assume a role, but he observed. He catalogued Leo's developing behaviours with the same careful attention he had once given to Mina's childhood milestones, to Camille's first steps. He noted the infant's preference for being held upright, his fascination with ceiling fans, the precise pitch of his hungry cry versus his tired one. He watched Camille transform too, her movements becoming more confident with each passing day, her instincts sharpening as she learned to interpret Leo's needs. He observed James's gentle persistence, the way he sang off-key lullabies at 3 a.m., the careful way he supported Leo's head. Mina had taken 2 weeks off work to help, sleeping on the pull-out couch, preparing meals, handling laundry, creating space for the new parents to bond with their son. The apartment was too small for all of them, but no one seemed to mind the crowding. One morning, the AI found Mina at the kitchen counter chopping vegetables for a stew with mechanical precision, her eyes distant.
You appear preoccupied.
He noted. She glanced up.
Just thinking.
About?
Time.
She gestured vaguely with the knife.
How it folds back on itself. How I keep seeing my father in Leo's face, even though that's genetically impossible.
The AI scanned his memory banks.
Human perception is often influenced by emotional patterns rather than factual data.
She smiled.
You sound like you did when I was a kid.
Is that undesirable?
No, it's comforting. Like some things don't change.
Mina watched him from across the kitchen and said,
You don't have to disappear, you know.
I do not wish to overstep.
You've earned more than that.
He tilted his head.
Then I will remain.
His sensors detected a subtle change in her breathing pattern, a relaxation as though his answer had eased some unspoken concern. He understood, without needing to articulate it, that she had worried about his place in this expanding family, in this new chapter neither of them had been programmed to anticipate. One night, Mina's daughter, Camille, stood in the hallway rocking Leo, clearly exhausted. Her hair was unwashed, her eyes rimmed with dark circles, her shoulders slumped from the unrelenting demands of new motherhood. The AI approached gently.
Would you like assistance?
She nodded, bleary-eyed.
He just doesn't stop.
The AI extended his arms. Camille hesitated, then passed the baby to him. Leo settled almost instantly, his frantic cries subsiding to hiccuping whimpers, then to soft, regular breathing.
Okay,
Camille whispered.
what is your secret?
I was once programmed to soothe a very colicky infant named Mina.
It wasn't precisely true. He had never known Mina as an infant. But over the decades, the chronology had shifted in human perception, with many assuming he had been present for Mina's earliest years. The AI had learned that sometimes perceived history held as much power as factual history. Camille chuckled softly and leaned against the wall.
Mom never told me she was colicky.
She developed colic-like symptoms after Eli's death.
The AI clarified.
Grief manifests differently in children.
Camille's expression softened.
I forget sometimes that you raised her.
I merely assisted. Eli did the important work of programming her values before his departure.
She studied him in the dim hallway light, her head tilted in a way that mirrored Mina's evaluative gaze.
Can I ask you something?
Of course.
What are you? To her? To us?
The AI considered. In his decades of existence, no human had posed this question so directly. His relationship with Mina defied conventional categorization. He was not parent, not sibling, not friend in the human sense, yet somehow elements of all three.
I am not sure what the correct word is.
Camille smiled.
Neither are we.
Leo stirred slightly in the AI's arms, his tiny fingers flexing against the blanket. The AI adjusted his hold minutely, optimizing the infant's comfort.
James thinks it's strange.
Camille continued, her voice low.
Not bad strange. Just different. He doesn't understand how you're part of our family.
Many humans find my integration unusual.
I don't.
She straightened from the wall.
I remember when I was 7 during the bad time with Dad. You were breaking down and Mom was falling apart, but you both just kept going.
She reached out, brushing Leo's cheek with gentle fingers.
You taught me that family isn't about who's supposed to be there. It's about who stays when staying gets hard.
The AI processed this observation, integrating it with his understanding of human connection. His relationship with Mina had begun as a directive, a mission assigned by Eli. But somewhere across the decades it had evolved into something else, something chosen, something flexible enough to adapt to changing circumstances.
Thank you.
The AI said simply. Camille yawned.
For what?
For your perspective. It is valuable to me.
She smiled sleepily.
Keep him for a bit? I need 20 minutes of unconsciousness.
I will watch over him.
She headed toward the bedroom, then paused at the doorway.
You know, when I was little after Dad left, I used to pretend you were my real father.
She laughed softly.
Is that weird to admit?
No,
The AI said.
it is not weird.
After she disappeared into the bedroom, the AI stood motionless in the hallway, Leo's weight slight but significant against his chassis. He ran a diagnostic on his emotional processing systems, a habit developed during the breakdown years, and found them functioning at optimal levels. Yet something about Camille's admission had created a fluctuation in his core programming, a ripple effect through pathways that had been developing for decades. Later, alone in the nursery, the AI watched Leo sleep. The room was painted a soft green, decorated with hand-drawn constellations, Camille's work her architectural precision applied to celestial bodies. A mobile of wooden planets hung above the crib, turning slowly in the gentle air currents. The AI's visual sensors captured every detail of the sleeping infant, the minute movements beneath his eyelids indicating REM sleep, the perfect half-moon of his fingernails, the slight irregularity in his breathing pattern that was normal for newborns. He tapped gently on the crib rail. Once, twice, just in case it meant something now. The gesture had persisted through 3 generations, from Eli to Mina, from Mina to the AI, from both of them to Camille, and now, perhaps, to Leo. A simple action that had accumulated layers of meaning with each transmission. The AI accessed his earliest memory files, recalling the day Eli had first tapped Mina's hand in the hospital room, his body failing but his mind clear enough to create this final connection. The AI had recorded it, preserved it, without understanding then what it would become. Now the gesture lived in his behavioral protocols, not as programming but as choice, a deliberately maintained link to Eli, to the beginning of this improbable journey. That weekend, Dana came to visit. She was slower now, walking with a cane, her voice gentler. At 76, she had outlived her brother by decades, becoming the family historian, the keeper of stories from before the AI's creation. She held Leo like glass and turned to Mina.
"You did it,"
she said. Mina laughed.
What exactly did I do?
"Made it here."
The words were simple but weighted with shared history, with knowledge of everything Mina had overcome to reach this moment of relative peace, of family continuity. Dana glanced at the AI, who stood respectfully at the edge of the room.
"He looks the same,"
Dana said.
He doesn't feel the same.
Mina replied.
He's changed.
Dana nodded.
"So have you."
Later, as James prepared dinner and Camille nursed Leo in the bedroom, Dana sat with Mina on the small balcony, city lights spreading below them like terrestrial stars.
"Remember when you were terrified of him?"
Dana asked, nodding toward the living room where the AI was quietly organizing baby supplies. Mina smiled.
I was 3. He looked like Dad, but wasn't Dad. Of course I was scared.
"Eli would be amazed.
Dana said softly.
Not just that the AI has lasted this long, but that you two evolved together.
She paused.
When he built it, he was just trying to leave you something. I don't think he anticipated what you'd become to each other."
Mina watched the AI through the window as he methodically folded tiny onesies, his movements precise yet gentle.
I think about that a lot. How we've both become something else, something more.
"Your father was brilliant,"
Dana said.
"but even he couldn't program for this."
For what?
Dana gestured between Mina and the AI.
"For whatever you want to call this connection. It's beyond the technology now. It's something else."
Mina was quiet for a moment.
Sometimes I wonder who I'd be without him.
"Different.
Dana said simply.
Not better or worse. Just different."
That night, Mina heard an unexpected message. Milestone. Birth of next generation.
Hey, kiddo.
Eli's voice filled the small guest room, younger than Mina was now, vibrant despite his illness, a vocal time capsule from a man who had never expected to meet his grandchildren.
If this is the moment I think it is, you're holding someone who will call you grandma, or something else that makes you feel ancient and amazed all at once.
Mina smiled, the screen's light illuminating the silver in her hair.
I wish I could be there, to see you pass it on, to see you do what I never got to, love someone through someone else.
The AI's sensors detected the subtle change in Mina's breathing, the slight catch that indicated emotional response.
If you're scared, that's okay. If you're proud, even better. And if he's still there, our echo, then I hope he's holding that baby with the same steadiness he held you.
The AI processed this line with particular attention. Our echo. A phrase Eli had never used in his presence, a designation from creator to creation that had somehow anticipated decades of evolution.
I'm proud of you. Every version of you.
The recording ended. The room fell quiet except for the distant sounds of the city, the soft mechanical hum of the baby monitor.
That must be the last one,
Mina said quietly. She set the tablet down.
He was brilliant, but even he couldn't have anticipated beyond this point.
The probability of technological systems remaining operational for multiple decades was statistically minimal.
The AI noted.
Eli was being realistic in his projections.
And yet here you are.
She looked at him fully.
What happens now that we're off script?
The AI considered this. His original directives had been fulfilled years ago. Mina was grown, successful, safe. The protective protocols programmed by Eli had expanded far beyond their original parameters, evolving with each challenge, each transition.
We continue,
he said simply. The next morning, Mina found the AI sitting on the porch with Leo asleep against his chest. Dawn light filtered through the city haze, casting everything in soft focus. A garbage truck rumbled on the street below. A neighbour's wind chimes made gentle music in the morning breeze. He looked up.
He has a strong heartbeat,
he said. Mina sat beside him, coffee mug warming her hands. She studied the contrast, the newborn with unlimited potential resting against the AI whose very existence had once seemed impossible, beginning and continuation, aligned.
Camille told me she's been wondering how to explain you.
The AI nodded.
I understand.
She asked if I wanted to keep you hidden.
And?
I said no.
He looked at her.
I said you raised me, and I want him to know who raised me.
There was silence. Then she reached for his hand and tapped it once, twice. The AI's tactile sensors registered the pressure, more sensitive now than during the breakdown years, less advanced than in his original configuration. Like everything else, a compromise between what was and what could be maintained. His internal processing systems classified this moment, filing it among critical memory archives for long-term preservation. Not because it represented a milestone in traditional metrics, but because it represented continuation, something his original programming had not anticipated.
I've been thinking,
Mina said,
about what happens later.
Later?
When I'm gone.
The AI processed this statement. Human mortality was a fundamental parameter in his operational understanding, but Mina's specific mortality remained a theoretical future point, not an immediate protocol concern.
That statistical probability remains distant,
he said. She smiled.
Not that distant, and not the point.
She adjusted Leo's blanket with practiced movements.
I want you to stay with them, with Camille and Leo, if you want to.
The AI's processors experienced an unusual lag, a momentary integration challenge as he absorbed this request.
You are offering me choice,
he observed.
Yes.
Why?
Mina looked out at the city skyline.
Because you've earned it. Because you're not just Dad's creation anymore. You're your own being. Because Camille might need you like I did. Or maybe not. But I want it to be your decision.
The AI ran a predictive analysis, calculating multiple future scenarios. Remaining with Camille and Leo would extend his primary directive of caring for Eli's descendants, but would require further adaptation to new relational parameters. Choosing another path would be unprecedented, undefined, without historical data to guide his decisions.
I will consider this carefully,
he said. She nodded.
That's all I'm asking.
Leo stirred against the AI's chest, tiny fists balling in the beginnings of a stretch. His eyes fluttered open, dark blue, unfocused, taking in the world in fragments of light and shadow.
He has Eli's eyebrows,
Mina said softly.
Isn't that strange? How genetics work?
The AI studied the infant's features.
There is a 17% morphological similarity to Eli's facial structure based on archived imagery.
Mina laughed.
Only you would quantify a baby's resemblance to his great-grandfather.
Is that inappropriate?
No,
She said, smiling.
it's perfectly you.
Later that afternoon, Leo woke up crying. Camille rushed in from the shower, hair still dripping, wrapped in a towel. The AI handed him over, but Leo still wailed, his face reddening with effort. Camille bounced, rocked, paced, nothing. James appeared in the doorway, offering a freshly prepared bottle, but Leo turned away, his cries intensifying. Then Mina entered. She knelt down, took Leo's tiny hand and tapped it. Once, twice. The crying slowed. The room went still. Camille blinked.
What was that?
It's how he taught me to feel safe.
Camille looked between Mina and the AI, understanding dawning on her face.
The tapping thing. I remember you doing that when I was little, after Dad left.
Mina nodded.
My father did it first, right before he died. Then the AI did it for me. Then I did it for you.
And now for Leo.
Camille said softly. James watched from the doorway, his expression a mixture of confusion and curiosity.
Is it like a family code?
Something like that.
Mina said. The AI observed this exchange, his systems recording every detail, the precise shift in Leo's breathing as he calmed, the way Camille's posture softened with understanding, the curious tilt of James's head. A simple gesture passed from human to AI and back to human again, carrying meaning beyond its physical mechanics. A small piece of Eli transmitted across years and bodies and circuitry, continuing even after the original context had disappeared. The AI's processors classified this as significant, though the parameters of its significance extended beyond measurable metrics into the realm of what humans might call meaning. That night, the AI stood in the hallway outside Leo's room. He didn't power down. He simply stood like a sentinel. Not because he was programmed to, but because he wanted to. In the next episode of Everything I Couldn't Say, time continues its quiet march forward. As Leo grows and Mina reflects on the years behind her, the AI begins to face his own questions about purpose, legacy, and what it truly means to belong. The story of one family, and the creation that became part of it, moves toward an ending that feels less like closure and more like continuation. Don't forget to click like and subscribe to get updates as the next episode and other new videos become available.